Welcome, and thank you everyone for joining us for this concise and informative discussion by Dr. Michael Wald. Dr. Wald, you have many degrees and certifications in the areas of nutrition and health, including 2 board certifications in nutrition. You are a doctor of chiropractic with a master's in nutrition, and you are a certified nutritional specialist. You have published successful books on natural health, and right now we will be discussing vitamins and other supplements. Do they help? Okay. Are herbs, vitamins, and other nutritional supplements helpful, or are they a waste of time for improving health and treating disease? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, that's another really good question because so the question is basically, if I'm understanding you right, vitamins, minerals, herbs, and then there are other types of nutritional supplements, amino acids, essential fatty acid, and other phytonutrients, which refer to plant nutrients, and then there's another class called nutraceuticals. So is there any science behind all this? Well, the simple answer is, oh yes, there's so much science. You might say, well, really, prove it. Well, just go to pubmed.org, and that's the National Library of Medicine. And you'll come up with a search bar there. So if you put in, let's say, vitamin C in cancer, you will have thousands of studies that pop up. If you put in, let's say, magnesium in muscle spasms, magnesium in brain health, omega-3 fatty acids in cancer and heart, and inflammatory diseases and weight loss, all the studies pop up, and then they will pop up in the center, and then on the side you'll have all the related studies. So it's like this web of study. None of us would live long enough to search the medical literature, and that's just one database, the National Library of Medicine. That's just one. Another one's called the Cochrane database. So the question is there evidence? Yes, there's evidence. But are they a waste of time? That depends on how we're using the nutrients and what conditions we're talking about. So when you ask me, are nutrients useful for health? Well, it depends on what aspect of health you're talking about. So for example, in certain forms of cancer, nutrients are more or less useful. In certain degrees and types of heart and vessel disease, certain nutrients have really good studies and other nutrients don't. So we always want to know what condition we're talking about, what are the best nutrients that the literature says would support healing in that condition, and for this individual patient, when I look at their chemistries and I go through a very detailed intake and questionnaires, that helps us determine the specific types of herbs, vitamins, minerals, and other nutraceuticals that they may need. We put all that together and figure it out. And then there's a trial and error period. Oftentimes my patients might think initially that they take their nutrients and kind of that's it. But you take your nutrients, and as your health improves, you need to adjust your nutrition to continue that process. And then of course we use the laboratory for certain nutritional tests. So for example, vitamin D is an excellent, accurate test of long-term deficiency and need for vitamin D. B vitamin testing, for example, is not that accurate. It only shows the last maybe 3 or 4 days of nutritional intake. But then there are tests of, let's say, the size and shapes of various cells, a person's blood work under a microscope. That's called a peripheral blood smear, and there's tons of different nutritional information that comes off that. But the basic question here is, are these things useful? And the answer is yes and no and maybe, depending on the health issues that we're talking about.
Okay, got it. This is some great information.
Thank you.
Thank you.